Oh, hey guys. I'm your host, Drew Harrison. Thank you for joining me again on another edition of Oh, hey guys with Drew Harrison. We got a fun show for you today. We got On This Day, where we look at fun March 23rd days in history. We got a fun music video of the week for you, a popular video game that everyone is waiting for. We just got the music video version of it first. All right? And then we round that all off with another Tales from the Road with our good buddy Matt Dameron. You heard his story about surviving a break-in at a friend's house when he was on the road. So we got another Florida tale for you, so stay tuned for that. And then, of course, all your pop culture, comedy, and sports you can handle. The Hockey Hall of Fame is keeping the gold-winning goals. Megan Keller, Jack Hughes, their pucks are up in Toronto. Jack Hughes has been very vocal about wanting his puck back, but the Hall of Fame said, and I quote, "It was never his to own." Ruthless. Now, I know the NHL will give players their pucks and stuff when they break records and things, but the international hockey is saying, nay, this belongs in the Hall of Fame. You're not getting it back. Not his to own. That's just brutal. They done told us who Banksy is. Like, I know people in England have known for forever, but the world is finally finding out that it's just a 50-year-old white dude who wears glasses. You mean to tell me this graffiti artist from the 90s is just a 50-year-old white dude now? Yeah, that's how time and age works. Robin Gunningham. That's Banksy. Robin Gunningham. Graffiti artist turned world enigma. So hats off to you for keeping it close to the chest for so long. But, I mean, it's just a long list of things they told us about that we just have very much so underreacted to or just do not care. They told us about aliens. We didn't care. Told us about Banksy, whatever. Told them about a big old pedophile ring running the world. And we were like, I mean, maybe. So what could you legit turn on TV tomorrow and it catch you off guard? That's how far we've gotten in this world. Florida hospital is dealing with a patient that refuses to leave. Like, I don't like going to the hospital. The day they tell me I can leave, I'm out. But I can't imagine going and staying. Like, I know people are squatting like crazy in houses because this economy is, well, this economy. But I've never heard of a squatter in the hospital before. The patient's been there 5 months. 5 months after discharge. I don't want to know what that medical bill is going to look like. Getting hyped for Easter. Next week, we're going to do top 5 Easter candy, so get excited for that. But Costco is selling a 10-pound chocolate bunny. Pete the Bunny, they named him. He's on the side. He's got his whole story and everything. Pete the Bunny is selling for $140, and I feel like that's getting your money's worth. 10-pound chocolate, 10 pound. You can divvy that up for the family for at least a couple weeks. A woman who wrote a book on grieving their lost husband just was found guilty of murdering said husband. Utah's own, because the stories coming out of Utah these days are just fantastic. It's becoming the West Florida. Utah's own Corey Richens, I don't know how they say the name, but she's a murderer, so screw it. She gave her husband 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in a cocktail. And then wrote a book about grieving about it. The grift is real. She even created the grift to grift. Grifters gonna grift. At least she didn't become a social war commentator. I mean, she probably was close to it. Probably pretty close to it. A Baywatch actor was arrested this past week, and not what you normally think. You know, this isn't a Hasselhoff situation where he was drunk in public. Former Baywatch actress Alexandra Paul was actually arrested for rescuing beagles from a breeding facility in Wisconsin. So hats off to you doing the Lord's work out there. Those poor beagles deserve better. I'm a sucker for beagles. We all got our dog breed that we're just a sucker for, and beagles is mine. Are mine? I don't. Who cares about vocabulary? The world's burning. But like I said, we got a great show for you. So up next, we got On This Day. March 23rd, on this day throughout history. 1840, John William Draper takes the first picture of the moon ever recorded in the United States. Took him probably half the day to set it up, get ready for nighttime. Like, oh, hurry up, the moon's here. In 1882, the Edmunds Act is adopted to curb polygamy. 1,300 men were incarcerated for not following this act. 1,300. It reminds me of those 80s videos where they were banning drunk driving. And the guys were like, man, if a man can't have a beer on the way home, what are we doing here? So just remember, just because it's illegal doesn't make it right. In 1957, the U.S. Army sold its last homing pigeons. I mean, I get we used pigeons up until the 50s, but who are you selling them to? Nah. Be careful around that pigeon. He served in the Army, bro. He's a little wily. And March 23rd throughout history has always been a big nuclear testing day. In 1971, USSR did a underground nuclear test on March 23rd. I don't know how you test bombs underground, per se, unless you're underground and you drop the bomb. I don't know. France had a big testing day in 1980. And then, of course, no one can show up the good old US of A. We have had nuclear tests on this day in 1973, 1978, and 1985. And then to round out on this day in history, in 1994, Wayne Gretzky scored his then NHL best 802nd goal. Ovi has since then come and taken it away, but they call him the great one for a reason. So hats off to you. In 1994, Wayne Gretzky breaking the NHL goal record at the time. Music video of the week, and it is Joyner Lucas GTA 6. You mean to tell me we got a music video about Grand Theft Auto 6 before we got Grand Theft Auto 6? I'm not even a gamer, but I know that thing has been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. But it's a whole world inside a video game, so I don't even know how they achieve that in the first place. The over-the-shoulder camera angle makes it look legit. You got fun gunfights without any violence, you know? Goes through a fun segment where you pick your character's outfit, you pick your weapon, even pick your hairstyle. The video's fun. It's got you pulling people out of cars, just like in the video game, beating them up, you know, getting stars like the cops are after you, running into non-playable characters, the whole shebang. And shout out to this guy who just got beat up the entirety of the music video. That's our music video of the week, Joyner Lucas, GTA 6. All right, it is Tales from the Road time. We are joined again by Matt Dameron. He had a fantastic, haunting story about surviving a break-in in Florida, but he's back to tell us another story. Hopefully this one isn't as home invasion-y.
No, it's not. And now that I'm thinking about it, it is about Florida again. It's like, there's something about the place. I'm
Have you
telling you.
watched
That's
that?
like,
It's Florida Man on HBO.
oh yes, great.
I got the last one with Nick Thune was just so good.
Oh yeah. I actually watched that the other day. It was freaking fantastic. And like, dude, I would say like Florida, it is insane. It's crazy.
Whole new
But I
world,
will
man.
say, dude, the comedy fans there are like amazing. You
Yeah.
talking about like like real diversity,
Oh, no
like
doubt.
in a crowd. So if you're
Yeah.
making people laugh, you're making like Florida's like I would say Florida might be one of the most diverse states in America.
I'll give you
You know,
that.
people don't think about it that way, but dude, I was in Naples, Florida, and I was in the middle of a show and I'm going through and I'm like I have a bit about like describing my political beliefs, which is like I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. Um, I'm kind of like a just annoying middle of the road kind of deal. And I get a heckle and it was like it's pretty loud and I was like, what's going on over there? You guys on cocaine? And it's like a little
It's a pretty good bet.
feminine. Yeah, a very feminine like voice from the audience was like, "No, baby, we don't do cocaine. We're just gay and conservative." And I was like, "What?" And like, first of all, I'm like, never have I ever seen or heard of a gay that doesn't do cocaine, but
Right. Right. What are you doing here?
like
No,
like a
conservative is
conservative.
my drug.
Dude, I literally looked this man up today on Instagram. And like we talked and hung out a little bit after the show, and like yeah, he's a spicy one. Um, he's a conservative influencer, Like he's been on like major news networks and all this, that, and the other. But, like he had almost 1 million followers. His name's Conservative Ant on Instagram, and so like that happened, and I'm like, okay, and then I had a long riff. I have like this video on Instagram, just like me and the whole exchange, because the reason why he said that is because it was directly the night after Trump Biden um, debate.
Oh,
So like
okay,
a
gotcha.
massive win for like the Republicans and the conservative movement. So
Yeah,
they are jacked up. They don't need cocaine. They're riding
right.
this high kind of deal. Um, and so I get I pander a little bit. I start doing a Joe Biden impression, like walk off stage and like come back around the other side. It's a whole thing. They're hooping and hollering. Reset the room. Go back into the material. Crowd getting really rowdy on the right side of the room now. Like just like I can't concentrate. So like you
Yeah,
gotta like address it, shut it
yeah.
down, reset. So I said, "Hey guys, you guys on cocaine too? What's going on?" And nothing, like a lot of laughter in the area started like popping off. So after the set, it was a fun set. Like sometimes I get frustrated with like, but there were like fun heckles I could deal with it. It wasn't like making me bomb. So I get off stage, I go outside, and the dude at the table, he comes outside, and like I get to talk to him. He's, oh yeah, I just recently moved here to Naples. I was a big time drug dealer back in like Washington State. I was like, muling drugs, this, that, and the other. And he was like, dude, that's kind of crazy how you like somehow you knew we were doing cocaine at that table. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, that's what we were talking about. I was asking for my buddy to give me the keys. I was like, give me the key. Give me the freaking key. Like we were all doing key bumps at the table. I was like, dude, I had no clue you were doing cocaine at the table. And like his eyes are like, he's buzzing, bro.
He's like, how do you what?
Yeah. And so I'm selling merch at the end of the show, and like all the audience members around the table were like, dude, yeah, they were all just ripping it, just bumps at the table, just in front of God and everybody. It's like no shame.
How they do it
We're
in
just
Florida?
comedy show. Where's the key? It's like, yeah, it was the whole
That's
thing,
is that one of those that the waiter comes by and catches you and you just offer them a little like,
dude. Yeah, in Florida, they probably would be like, so nice of you. They indulge, keep moving. We're in the service industry. We get it. It's
why'd
like
you bring your own? We got plenty in the kitchen.
you should have ordered it off the menu. Yeah, it was a whole thing, man.
That's what they get mad about in Florida. Not that you brought Coke into the club, it's that you didn't buy it from them. Like we no
Right, right,
outside
right.
drugs. Okay, you get your drugs here. Okay, it's a 2 menu item. All right. Well, that means everything.
Yeah, yeah. But it was a great weekend, great comedy club, great fans. It was like, yeah, it was a little alarming that happened, but
Well, where can they find you online, man, to check out that interaction?
it's on Instagram. I'm assuming it's on my main grid. I think it's still up there, man. It might be hidden off the in the Reels tab, so you might have to click on the Reels tab, and I think you'll see like a Biden Trump like thumbnail up there, and it's just like me just riffing with the gay dude back and forth, and it's a time.
Like Florida is meant to be.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Well, thank you for joining us again on Tales from the Road. All right, let's talk sports. Venezuela wins the 2026 World Baseball Classic, and this baseball classic was so great and well received that they are putting in discussions about if this is going to replace the All-Star game in the middle of the season going forward. So they at least got to look at what the Four Nations did for the NHL. People love this World Baseball Classic, and just overall All-Star games just suck. Don't do anything about the home run derby. Don't you take my home run derby away from me. They defeated USA 3-2 in the finals, despite Bryce Harper trying his best to keep the USA in it. And yes, that hurts me to say that. Abreu and Suarez both coming up with big hits, so it got the world hyped about baseball heading into the 2026 MLB season. The Bucks want to shut Giannis down. Giannis says, nay, I'm going to keep playing basketball. My man's auditioning for a new team, all right? He ain't going to miss this opportunity. And plus, he's just one of those guys that just loves playing basketball. Like, yeah, it's going to get weird with the contract and his next team, but my man loves playing basketball. Sucks for the Pistons. Detroit gets a good season for the first time in a hot minute. And Cade Cunningham out indefinitely with a collapsed lung. The NBA has the weirdest injuries. Like I saw the play. I don't understand how his lung got collapsed whatsoever. And then all these Achilles injuries. NBA, what are y'all doing to y'all's players, man? Unfortunately for Cade, too, he still needed to play 5 more games to be eligible for the MVP. So that sucks. But hopefully that opens the door for Jaylen Brown to get the MVP because that dude deserves it. And no, I'm not just saying that because I'm a Celtics fan. What? He deserves it. He does. Kevin Durant passes MJ for 5th all-time on the scoring list. And in true KD fashion, he's like, 4 more to go. One of the best scorers of all time, but also one of the pettiest, snarkiest dudes of all time, too. And I appreciate that about him. Messi scores his 900th goal in soccer, and Ovechkin scores his 1,000th goal in hockey. So shout out to just 2 absolute legends. Let me know in the comments y'all's take. Are they both the greatest of all time? I luckily did get to see Gretzky's last couple of years, so I'm still going Gretzky. I mean, I think McDavid's going to pass him when it's all said and done if he can get out of Edmonton. But what do y'all think? Who are the greatest soccer and hockey players of all time? March Madness news. Nebraska gets their first win in a tournament ever. They were 0-8, and now they are 2-8 on their way to the Sweet 16. My beloved Tar Heels were upset by VCU, so that sucks. I was really pulling for Siena to beat Duke in that first round. Nice little 16-1 matchup, but it didn't happen. But Siena's coach, Jerry McNamara, going back home at Syracuse, has signed up for him to be their next head coach. So that'll be fun to watch. Don't you turn Syracuse into another powerhouse now that they're in the ACC. Don't you do it. Iowa blowing up everybody's brackets, defeating number 1 Florida. So that there's 0 perfect brackets remaining. So there you go. Got a little NFL news for you, but first, did y'all see the flag football game with like old and current NFL players against Team USA flag football? If you didn't watch it, flag football destroyed the NFL players. So that put to bed if NFL players are going to play for Team USA for the Olympics because Team USA said, nah, we good. We good. 49ers keep beefing up that wide receiver court, signing Christian Kirk in free agency. Go along with Mike Evans. That's going to be a nice little tandem there. Superstar cornerback Darius Slay announces his retirement from football. That guy was a terror. I know wide receivers are happy he is calling it quits. Wide receiver Hollywood Brown signing with the Eagles. I know that probably scared a little Eagles fans, but A.J. Brown is still there for the time being. I don't foresee him getting traded this offseason, but that's just my humble opinion. Denver sends a 1st, 3rd, and 4th round pick to Miami for Jacob Waddle and a 4th round pick. It's waddling on over to Denver. Just Miami cleaning house. It makes sense you got to clean house when a third of your salary cap is going to players that are no longer on your team. Jets trade quarterback Justin Fields to the Chiefs. They got their insurance policy and backup to Patrick, depending on how long he takes recovering from his injury and getting back on the field. And then also just a great backup to have. You know, he mimics a lot of Patrick Mahomes' ability to run and throw. Maybe not the throwing part, but he can run. I am hyped for the draft. The Panthers seem like they're a couple pieces away from actually making some noise in the NFC, so your boy is hyped. And so are kids in the Pittsburgh School District. Pittsburgh announcing that they will be remote during those draft days in Pittsburgh this year. So that's awesome. If I'm a little kid, I'm a Steelers fan, I get to stay home from school and get the drafts close by. Come on. That is awesome. And in just some overall draft news, sticking with Pittsburgh, it looks like they're favoring quarterback Beck over Ty Simpson. So they've called in Carson Beck for a couple of interviews, and the word is they prefer him if they go quarterback in the first round. So that'll be interesting. And that's it for our show this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate you joining us on this just gray Monday. Hope your week has some more sunshine involved in it. Hope you do some things for you this week, all right? Remember, we're all weird. Way more fun when we're weird together. See you next time.